Dr. Christine Blasey Ford has responded to the Senate Judiciary Committee's invitation to testify. Her attorney, Deborah Katz, sending a letter saying, in part, I would like to set up a call with you later today to discuss the conditions under which Dr. Christine Blasey Ford would be prepared to testify next week. She wishes to testify provided that we can agree on terms that are fair and which ensure her safety. A hearing on Monday is not possible, and the committee's insistence that it occur that is arbitrary in any event. Here now to discuss, Josh Blackman, constitutional law expert and Cato Institute adjunct scholar, Jenna Ellis, constitutional law attorney, and Rick Unger, he's just a guy we know, so we brought him in. Let me start with one of the constitutional experts, if you don't mind, Jenna.
He looked at me, but he meant you. Yeah.
Jenna, in all seriousness, you know, this is a very dicey situation. There's so much at stake here. It's become much broader than the issue itself, and the whole world's watching. How do you see it playing out?
Well, I see Judge Kavanaugh absolutely being confirmed and being confirmed quickly. And this has unfortunately become a political question rather than truth-seeking and in the interest of justice. What should have happened years ago, if Blasey Ford had wanted to make this allegation, would to go to law enforcement, because we have
right, but that didn't happen, right? So I don't know if we're not going to deal in what should have, could have, might have happened. Let's just talk about the here and now. You know, is that what you're saying right now? Would that be good enough? Would the Republican Party be good enough saying that to the American public come Monday and Dr. Ford doesn't show up and they just go through the confirmation? Is that going to be a good enough explanation to the rest of the country?
It should be. And the reason for that is that the Senate confirmation hearing is not the appropriate forum to litigate this. Chairman Grassley's letter that was issued today to the Democrats was very fair. He explained what an FBI investigation is actually for, and he explained what the Senate confirmation hearing process is for. Under the Constitution in Article 2, advice and consent is what the Senate is supposed to provide. And so for this type of allegation, if she's not willing to come forward on Monday, the process should move along, and that's absolutely appropriate.
Josh?
Well, I think the process will probably move forward one way or the other. One thing people don't quite realize is you don't actually need a committee vote to go to the floor. It's entirely possible that even if the committee vote isn't held, you can still have a floor vote later on, perhaps after some investigation occurs. But I think the Republicans have perhaps regrouped and see that they have a chance to move forward. If she does testify on Monday or perhaps later in the week, the situation may change. But as of now, it looks like this case will move forward to a vote at some point soon.
All right, so again, you know, there are a couple of things here. There are the legal parameters that have been set. There's the constitutionality of it all. And then there's the court of public opinion, Rick.
Well, there's also a moral issue here that I think is even more important. And frankly, Jen and I are in agreement on this. That moral issue favors Judge Kavanaugh. Look, you know, I understand my side, the Democrats, are anxious to delay this past the election, see if we get a majority in the Senate and change everything. There are bigger issues at stake here. You know, we very much believe in this country, in our cultural morality, in the notion that people are innocent until they are proven guilty. Now, I think that the doctor should testify. And by the way, if she needs a few more days, I think it's in the Senate's best interest to give her a few more days. It's not going to have a big impact on the outcome. She should testify. He'll testify. So far as we know right now, there are no other witnesses prepared to come forward. You have to give the benefit of the doubt to the judge. Should they be cross-examined by their own individual lawyers? It's not a bad idea, actually. No? Remember how we used to do it. You know, in the old days, in that kind of testimony, you would have the staff attorneys doing the questioning. And now we're in such a highly charged political environment, it may not be such a terrible idea to do it. Everybody will feel like there was a fair hearing, and I have to agree, though, at the end of the day, Judge Kavanaugh...
I don't know, Jen, it feels like it could get out of control. Now, it's one thing to have their individual lawyers there helping them, you know, to filter the questions from the committee, but it's another to say, hey, cross-examining each other. It could become something of a media circus.
And that's exactly what it would become, because, again, this is a political question. It's not really a legal question. Nobody here is really presuming that the Democrats are truth-seeking. They're looking to delay.
I've got some breaking news coming up, and I want to get back to you on what they're saying about the structure of this and why it's unfair to her. 11 Republicans, none of them women, 10 Democrats, 4 of them women. But we have breaking news for you coming in from Raj Shah, and it's a text of Judge Kavanaugh's letter to Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley. Dear Chairman Grassley, thank you for the invitation to appear before the Senate Committee on Judiciary on Monday, September 24th. I will be there. I look forward to the opportunity to testify before the committee. I also appreciate that the time the committee staff took to interview me on Monday, September 17th. During that interview, I twice requested a committee hearing for the following day, Tuesday, September 18th. I continue to want a hearing as soon as possible so that I can clear my name. Since the moment I first heard this allegation, I have categorically and unequivocally denied it. I remain committed to defending my integrity. Sincerely, Brett M. Kavanaugh. Jenna?
That's a great letter. And we need to remember, though, that it's not about him clearing his name specifically. It's about the burden of proof is really always on the claimant, regardless of the process. And I think that that needs to be very important to the American people.
All right, folks, there's so much more, but we've got to wrap up this segment. We'll be right back.